Now we're going to go ahead and put the hubcap clips onto the completed rim that we have here. The supplies that we need include a heavy sledgehammer, the actual rivet tool that's provided by a Volkswagen supplier, and the rivets itself. There's the completed rim, and we're going to need something to put the edge of the rim on, which is this toolbox, and a decently heavy vise. So we're going to start out with the rivet device, and we are going to place it inside of the vise here. It's got to be super tight. Now the way this works is we actually have the clip itself and a rivet. Rivet goes up inside of the clip like this, and then onto the rivet device. As you can see here, the other side of the rivet is sticking out from the front of the rim itself, and we'll just have to hammer that down so it flattens out and takes up the space. So I've got this, and I've got my sledgehammer. Alright, you can see it's a little bit of work, but here's our first hubcap clip installed onto the completed rim. I'll have to do 5 more of those, and then I'll be able to put in the valve, the new valve. Alright, so all the hubcap clips are in, and now we're just ready to put in the air valve. Now that we've got all of our cap clips installed, we just have to get the new air valve hooked in. And so what I have is I have the replacement air valve as well as a air valve pull tool. Essentially how it works is you'll take the cap off of the top of the valve itself, and you'll push it through there. This tool itself actually will screw into the valve, and then you'll just yank it through the hole until it seats. We need to have a little bit of lubrication there, so a lot of times the guys at Tire Place will lubricate it with saliva. Alright, and yank it through. And then we can take our tool off. As you can see, it's seated nicely. And now this rim is ready to be mounted on the tire. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and remount the tire back on a completed rim that I've restored. What we're going to need is our tire that's going to be remounted. We'll need our new rim, which I've just refurbished, our mounting and dismounting bar, a tire iron, a 1/2-inch socket wrench with a 19mm socket itself, some soapy water or lubricant, and a brush, and of course our mounting device. And we're going to go ahead and drop this over top of that. And then we're going to screw everything back in. Take our soapy water. go. That's why it's nice to have an extra tire iron. And then we're going to want to get the other side down there. A little more.
Where are they?
They are probably upstairs in my office. Foolish.
Where?
Upstairs in my office.
Where?
Get that cap over there, please. Out here, we're going to go ahead and change a tire. I've got all my parts set aside here. I've got my new rim attached to my new tire. I've got the spare tire, which I placed on the VW temporarily. And then I've got my 3 sets of tools, the 19mm socket on a socket wrench, my quick release socket wrench, and also a torque wrench to make sure I've torqued the nuts up tightly enough. And then underneath the car, I've got my hydraulic lift. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and slightly untighten the screws. I always use a star pattern when tightening or loosening the bolts. That way I'm not stressing or fatiguing the metal. Now that I've got them slightly untightened, then I'm going to go ahead and I would normally put a jack underneath the car, but I don't need that right now, as I'm only going to take the tire off quickly, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time underneath the vehicle itself. Notice that I'm cradling the tire underneath my feet, so it's not binding up the screws themselves. Don't lose your nuts. All right, here's my new tire. I'm going to put it in position. Okay, relatively tight the bolts are. Drop the car down a little further, not super tight. Star pattern. All right, then we've got our torque wrench set up for 72 foot-pounds. Is spec for this vehicle. Okay, so then we go ahead and you can, again, star pattern. You'll hear the click, which means it's spec. And then I'll just go around and make sure that they're all at least 72 foot-pounds. Take your hubcap, pop it in. Go ahead and check our air pressure one more time. 32, and it is. Drop our spare. And we're done.